when you get a whole bunch of smart people in a room and you develop a strategy, only two things can go wrong. Number one, you choose the wrong strategy, or number two, you fail to execute. Never in my career have I seen the wrong strategy chosen, ever. Which tells me that when you do go through the process and you do get smart people and you do engage, that choosing the right strategy is the natural outcome of that. However, if you happen to choose the wrong strategy, just change it. Do another one. You must not only allow, I suggest you must encourage failure, as Ted has said. My opinion is stronger now that you've spoken to this morning, Ted. Failure is a natural part of moving forward and learning. And guess what? Anything that you fail on, you cannot send those people to any business school in the world where they will learn that lesson. Nowhere. MBAs, Harvards, nobody teaches you real world lessons. Nobody. The only truly sustainable competitive advantage is people. Any product that you develop, somebody else is going to copy the next day. Any cable program that you put on, somebody's going to have it the next day. Somebody can always catch up to you in what you're doing. In the phone business, you come up with a new iPhone, somebody else has got it a month later. So how do we motivate employees? Well, here's how I start. Hire the best. You don't want monkeys. You don't want robots. You want people who have a brain. All right? People who are not afraid to think. People who are not afraid to take risks. People who are not afraid to succeed. And I say that because there's many people who are absolutely happy to be, you just tell me what to do and I'll do it better than anyone. But I suggest to you, in an organization, that that's only going to get you so far. You want people who can think, who can act on their feet, who can take risks. Again, this is my opinion and experience. Demand their brain, not just their body. Demand that they think. Do not hire people and then give them, take away all of their ability to think and act. If you hire good people and you do anything but unleash them to do their job, you're going to actually quash their creativity, and they're going to leave and they're going to go and work somewhere else, maybe for your competitors, and take business from you. Start with good people, demand their brain, and make sure they use it. Commit them to the strategy. Everybody has to be committed to the strategy. If they don't understand it, if they can't buy into it, and they can't exercise it, then they should not be part of your company. You have to part company, or you should not bring them on in the first place. Make sure they're absolutely committed to the strategy. Give them the tools to do their job. Do not expect them to build a bridge without a set of blueprints. Do not expect them to build a bridge without a crane and with some steel. You have to give them the tools to do their job. Now this next piece might be difficult for you. Get out of their way. Let them do their damn job. They're entrepreneurs. If you hire the right people and you give them the vision and you give them the tools, get out of their way and let them work the way they work best. Because if you apply the same rules for everybody, the people who work well that way will work well and everyone else will be inefficient. And I suggest to you, the best way that you can do this is don't measure what they do. Don't measure the hours they come into work. Don't measure how many hours they spend at work. Measure what they achieve. Because frankly, that's all that matters. If I put in 20 hours a day and I achieve nothing, what good am I? I'll exaggerate. If I put in 4 hours a day and I achieve twice as much as the guy next to me, what good am I? Get out of the way. Let them do their job. People aren't going to slack off. They're not going to work 2 hours a day. Good, hard-working, smart people are going to work very hard, and they're going to work towards achieving their strategy. Get out of their way and let them do their job. I hope all of you really want to align with this one. You cannot hire people and pay them peanuts. If you want to pay peanuts, hire monkeys. Okay? You should be absolutely proud that your organization pays for your jobs more than anybody else in the country. But you get more out of those people than anybody else in the country. And I guarantee you, if you do all of this, and you align all of them, you can achieve that. And that has been my experience. And I see one of my former colleagues isn't here, but one is from HR. I had many fights with my colleagues because I had some of the highest paid salespeople in the organization, and sometimes they made more than I did. And I was totally proud of that. And they said, but these guys are making too much. I'd say, tell me what sales you want me to cancel and give back to our competitors so that they can make less money. It's true, and you can't argue with that. You just can't argue with that. You know, and it took time, but we did get it changed because our guys made a lot of money. But they generated unbelievable results for us. You can't expect to outsell your competitors. You can't expect to win in the marketplace unless you really have driven people who are rewarded, who understand where they're going, are free to go there in their way, and they know that they're going to be rewarded for it. If you don't pay them for it, if you're taking all the money, I don't suggest that's a very good thing. It's far easier and it's far faster to start a new culture than it is to transform an old one. Now that's really difficult. Because you might be sitting in an organization right now that's very large and you've got this huge culture. Well, how are you going to transform it? I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm saying it's a ton of work because you have to get rid of the old culture in order to bring in the new culture. And I chose this picture to kind of highlight. Imagine if they took a Spitfire, which I think that might be, and they tried to make a jet fighter of it. They're both planes. And maybe you could eventually do it. But you're better off starting from scratch and designing a jet airplane and building a jet airplane.